Tesla's biggest story today is not hype, it is reality. We are seeing three very different signals at once. Tesla may be getting more serious behind the scenes with Terafab. Cybertruck demand may be more complicated than the headline numbers suggest. And Tesla owners just got a genuinely useful app upgrade. So in today's video, I want to break down what happened, what it really means, and why these quieter developments may matter more than the loud headlines. Hi, this is Ken. Today's Tesla news is interesting because it is not really about big promises. It is about what is happening underneath the surface. We have one story about deeper operational movement, one story that raises real questions about demand quality, and one story that shows Tesla is still improving the ownership experience in practical ways. And honestly, that combination tells us a lot about where Tesla is right now. Let's start with Terafab. The new report says that people linked to Elon Musk's side have been asking semiconductor equipment suppliers about pricing and lead times. Companies like Lam Research are also reportedly part of that conversation. Now, this does not mean Terafab is suddenly about to launch, and it definitely does not mean Tesla has already built some massive semiconductor plan, but it does suggest that this may be moving beyond pure concept, because once you start checking equipment prices and delivery timelines, you are no longer just talking about an idea. You are trying to understand what real execution would actually take. That is why I think this matters. Tesla stories often become huge very quickly, but the important point here is not that Terafab is already real at scale. It is that this may no longer be just a whiteboard discussion. And for me, that is actually the interesting part, because these early preparation steps often tell us more about where Tesla is focusing than the finished product does. If Tesla is seriously exploring deeper semiconductor involvement, then the long-term implication is control. Control over supply, control over timing, control over cost, and maybe eventually more control over the hardware layer behind AI and autonomy. I am not saying all of that happens soon. It may take years. It may end up being smaller than some people expect, but the direction itself is worth watching, because Tesla has always tried to go deeper into the stack when it believes that gives it a strategic edge. Now let's move to Cybertruck, because this is the heavier story today. The report says that Cybertruck registrations may have been supported in a meaningful way by purchases from Elon-linked companies, including SpaceX. One reported figure is 1,279 units in Q4 2025. First, let's be fair. There is nothing automatically wrong with affiliated companies buying vehicles. That can happen for perfectly normal reasons. But the issue is not whether it is allowed. The issue is what the sales numbers are actually telling us. Because if a meaningful share of Cybertruck demand is coming from affiliated purchases, then the headline numbers may not reflect pure consumer demand as clearly as many people assumed. And that matters. Cybertruck is one of Tesla's most visible products ever. It gets attention, it gets headlines, it gets people talking. But visibility is not the same thing as durable demand. That is the key distinction. A product can be culturally powerful and still take longer to become a broad, stable commercial success. So I do not think the takeaway is that Cybertruck has failed. That would be too simplistic. The real takeaway is that investors need to separate story strength from demand quality. That is a very important difference, because Tesla is a company where strong narratives can move fast. But long-term value still depends on the strength and quality of the real business underneath. And I think this matters for the stock as well. Tesla can move on AI headlines and future optimism, but the auto business still matters. New vehicle adoption still matters. If Cybertruck demand is narrower than it appears on the surface, then Tesla may need more time, better positioning, or broader real-world use cases to expand it. That is not a disaster. It is just a reminder to stay grounded. And honestly, I think these are the kinds of stories investors should pay attention to carefully because they help separate excitement from reality. Now let's move to the third story, and for actual owners, this may be the most useful update today. Tesla's latest app update now allows dashcam video exports to include telemetry data such as speed, steering input, and FSD status. This is not a flashy story, it is not going to move the stock, but for owners, this is a very practical improvement because video alone does not always tell you enough. If you are reviewing an incident, a strange FSD moment, or a close call, the extra data gives you much better context. Was FSD on or off? How fast was the car moving? What was happening with steering input? That makes the footage much more useful. And I think this is a good reminder of what Tesla's software advantage really looks like. It is not only about giant breakthrough features, it is also about steadily improving the daily ownership experience. That is easy to overlook, but it matters because owners do not experience Tesla only through big headlines. They experience it every day through the little details. And when Tesla improves the way you review, understand, and interact with your vehicle, that strengthens the ecosystem in a very real way. There are also smaller app improvements being added, including features that expand what the app can do overall. Individually, these updates may look minor, but together they show Tesla continuing to build not just a car, but a connected user experience. One quick extra point before we wrap up. The limited Model X Signature Edition reportedly sold out quickly, and Tesla also included anti-resale restrictions with significant penalties. This is not a major financial story, but it is interesting from a brand perspective. It shows Tesla is still thinking carefully about exclusivity, scarcity, and how limited products are managed after the initial sale. That tells us something about how the company wants to protect premium perception. So when I step back and look at today's Tesla news, I see a very grounded picture. Terafab suggests quiet preparation behind the scenes. Cybertruck raises important questions about what demand really looks like. And the Tesla app update shows the company is still improving the ownership experience in practical ways. That is why I think today matters. Not because it gives us one huge breakthrough headline, but because it shows Tesla in a more realistic light. And for long-term investors, that is the real lesson. You cannot follow Tesla only through bullish excitement or bearish criticism. You have to watch where the company is preparing, where the numbers need more context, and where the user experience is quietly getting better. That is often where the real signal is. Finally, Tesla stock today is slightly down at around $386. So this was not really a hype-driven day in the market. It was more of an interpretation day. And honestly, for long-term investors, those are often the most valuable days. That is it for today. If you found this helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I cover Tesla every day with a focus not just on the headlines, but on what they actually mean. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's keep enjoying life with Tesla and keep thinking about where the future is heading. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.